Hi everyone. What I'm going to be doing here in this video is explaining to you how assignment number 10 is going to work, and I'm also going to give you a small short preview of assignment number 11 and assignment number 12. So all of these assignments are going to fit into our new unit, which is Exploring Canada. This is our final unit before we get into our final assessments. And so you're going to have assignment 10, 11, and 12 in this unit. Okay, so assignment 10 is going to take up the majority of this week, so we're going to focus on that one. In assignment 10, what you are going to be doing is choosing a province or territory in Canada, and you're going to be trying to create a slideshow presentation to convince somebody that this province or this territory is a nice place to visit. So you're kind of making almost like a tourist kind of brochure or advertisement for the province or territory of your choice. So you can choose any province or territory from this list. However, you will not be able to choose Ontario. I'm going to say no to Ontario because you probably have some experience with this, and I want you to have some wider experience of Canada beyond just Ontario. Okay, so you're going to choose your province or territory first. Then, before you actually create your presentation, you are going to create an outline for it. Okay, so your outline is down here, and it's going to come in 3 parts. So again, the purpose of the whole thing is to convince somebody why they should visit the province or territory you've chosen. So in the first part, you're going to focus on 3 impressive natural places that they can visit. I should say natural or outdoor places because they're not always completely natural. So these could be parks, provincial or national parks, beaches, islands, pretty much anything where they're outdoors that is inside your province or territory. So what you need to do is name 3 places and then describe them. After that, you're going to have to name 3 places to visit in your province or territory that can be found in a city or a town. So these are more indoor or urbanized places. So something that's either inside or something that's in a major city where you may be outside, but you're walking around a major city. So these could be places like museums, art galleries, shopping malls, historic buildings, restaurants, anything that's entertaining that's in a city or a town. Again, you're going to name 3 of them and provide a description. Finally, you're going to look at 3 cultural events that take place in your province or territory. So by cultural events, I mean events not necessarily outside, but that have a cultural kind of significance. So something that's part of the culture of either Canada or the people living in this area, anything of that sort of nature. So these could be things like festivals. So if you are familiar with Celebration Square, we have a lot of festivals there, so any of those would count if something like that happened in your province or territory. Fairs, sporting events, concerts, there are many things that would fit under this label. So again, 3 of them and your descriptions, and then once you've created your outline, you're going to use this outline to make a slideshow, which is a PowerPoint or Google Slides in which you present your province or territory to the class. So the purpose of this outline is to give you a sort of template to make your research easier and also to organize your slideshow. So please make sure you fill out your outline. Okay, and we have a marking scheme for this down here as per usual. So you might be wondering what really is expected of you. So I'm going to provide you with a couple of quick examples here. So what I have here is a research outline example. I've only completed the first part of it, but hopefully this should give you an idea. And I'm doing Ontario here just because nobody else will be doing this. So it's fair to everybody, no matter what province you choose or territory you choose. I haven't given you any extra answers here. So I've chosen the outdoor places, the natural places. So I've chosen 3 of them: Lake Superior Provincial Park, Niagara Falls, and Blue Mountain. And so what I've provided here is a description. So what I have here is a fair amount of detail. This is really sort of like a level 4 description that I have here. So it's relatively long, and I have several points about it. So if you want to know what a level 4 looks like, something of this level of detail or more could get you a level 4. All right, so if we look at Lake Superior Provincial Park, a vast natural space on the east coast of Lake Superior. Okay, so just a description of what it is. And then I'm going to describe some of the things that you can see or do there that make this a place worth visiting. So you got the beautiful rolling hills and forests that overlook the largest of the Great Lakes. So right? That's if you're into nature or you're into photography or something like that, that's probably something that would draw you there. Oh, okay, well, it's there. This is a great opportunity to take some pictures. Things that you can do, so hiking, fishing, swimming, kayaking, canoeing, and camping. Other interesting things about this place that would make it worth visiting. So it's a dark sky preserve, which means that there's very little light there at night, and we don't have very much light coming from cities that block out the stars. So you get an amazing view of the stars in this particular park. And there's also some artwork that's in here. If I've taught you before, I've probably talked about this park because I think this is really cool. There's some indigenous art painted on the rock faces in the park by the Ojibwe people. But what's really cool about this is that these pictures are actually, we don't know how old, but definitely hundreds of years old. And they're really cool looking. So this is some things that might be worth seeing at Lake Superior Provincial Park. So I've done the same thing for Niagara Falls and Blue Mountain. Now, you might notice as you're reading through this that some of the things I'm talking about in Niagara Falls here, especially this section on Clifton Hill, haunted houses, amusement park rides, and other attractions, well, you might say, well, aren't haunted houses indoors? Shouldn't that be in the indoor section? And you're right, you could have that in the indoor section. So there is a little bit of overlap between the different categories. So if you have something that's largely an outdoor place, Niagara Falls is mostly outdoors, right? You would go there to see the falls, which are outside. But there are some things in the area that are indoors that are worth doing. If that's true, feel free to include them. And similarly, if you're talking about something in the indoors and you have something outdoors nearby that's really worth seeing, feel free to include that as well. So it's not like everything in the outdoor section must be only outdoors and everything in the indoor section must be only indoors. One of the reasons I'm separating them this way is really just to keep it organized and to keep yourself from repeating yourself too much. So I wouldn't want you to say write Niagara Falls in this area, in the outdoors, and then also write it in the indoors. You want to be writing about different things in all of your sections so that you have a lot of different reasons that people would want to visit your province or territory, and so it's more convincing. Okay, so I've only completed the first section here. I've left these other ones blank. The only reason I've done this, hopefully, is to give you an idea of what the expectations are. So again, this would be a level 4. Okay, so we're now going to take this and we're going to translate it into a slideshow. So I have a PowerPoint here. So again, I've only done the first part of this, but again, just to give you an idea of what it could look like, and this would be level 4 as well. So the main idea here is you want to include lots of pictures and include the majority of the information on your outline. You don't necessarily need to put all of it, but you'll want to put the bulk of what's in there. So the things I want you to notice about my presentation here is just the fact that I've used a lot of pictures and how it's organized. So we have Welcome to Ontario. There are many reasons why Ontario would be an excellent choice for your next visit. So again, the purpose of this is to convince people that your province or territory is a nice place to visit. So again, you can see lots of pictures here. You have the flag of Ontario. And now, reason 1, the great outdoors. So we're going to focus on things that are outside in Ontario that you would want to visit maybe if you were coming to Ontario for the first time or as a tourist. And so again, I'm using my outline here. The 3 things that I have outdoors are the same that I had on my outline. So we have Niagara Falls, Lake Superior Provincial Park, and Blue Mountain. Okay, so here we go, Lake Superior Provincial Park. So I have some photos from the park, and I have my points here. I've generally kept it pretty similar to what I have in the outline. You could even really copy paste as long as it fits neatly on here. Just the whole thing is you don't want to have too much information on your slide that would make it difficult to put in pictures or that would bore people, right? If there's too much text on your slide, people who are reading your slide might not really be able to follow along with it that well. Okay, so there's my slide for Lake Superior Provincial Park. Here it is for Niagara Falls, and here it is for Blue Mountain. So you can see they're all similarly arranged, and I've used my outline to create this. Okay, so again, this is would be considered a level 4 example here, assuming I finish the rest of it. So just to give you an idea of what to expect. All right, so we'll just finish up by looking at the marking scheme very quickly here. Hopefully not really that many surprises. Your knowledge mark is based on accuracy, Is your research accurate? Are the places that you've described, are they in your province or territory? And do you have information at the necessary level of detail? So again, this is level 4. My example's on a different file here. This is a level 4 detail, so that might give you some idea of what the expectations are there. And your outline and your presentation are complete. So have you completed all 3 sections, outdoors, indoors, and cultural events? And have you completed both your outline and your presentation? Your thinking mark is for organization and planning. So I made a pretty strong attempt to organize my presentation here. Right, we introduced the topic. We introduced the fact that we're going to be speaking about why this is a good place to visit, and then each section is organized. So I have reason 1 and my 3 parts. And if I was going to continue this, I would have reason 2 and my 3 parts, reason 3 and my 3 parts. So keeping it organized and well planned. So again, what makes it well planned is that I've created this outline ahead of time, and I can just refer to it. It's very easy to do that. So again, if you've created a very detailed outline and you use it, then you should hit the well planned section of this very easily. Each section is effectively described. So not only do you have accurate and detailed information, but it's effective at describing this place, right? It's persuasive. People would read that and, oh yeah, this sounds cool. I would want to go there. So you also have effective choices for each section. So again, if you were going to say, for example, you should come to Ontario, you want to make effective choices. So you wouldn't say something like, come visit Ontario and come to see, I don't know, let's just say, come to see Tim Hortons, right? Like nobody is going to be that interested in coming to just a Tim Hortons. So you want to make choices that people would like to come see. So things like Niagara Falls, the CN Tower, that sort of thing. Communication. So do you use a lot of pictures? Are they well-chosen pictures? Is your description easy to understand? So not only is it accurate, not only are you describing things that are effective, but it's easy to understand, right? Your language is written in such a way that we can follow it. And is your presentation clearly and creatively laid out? So this isn't just organized, but also it looks nice. And then your application mark will again be as per usual: spelling and grammar, sentence structure, subject-verb agreement. Sentence structure we're going to be a little bit more lenient with in this case, because you might not use full sentences, you might just use point form like I've done, but you will still be using correct vocabulary and the words still have to be in the correct order. So this idea is still here. Okay, so that's assignment number 10. Assignment number 11 and 12, which we're not going to worry about this week, we're going to do those next week. You're going to have to make an audio presentation for your province or territory. And again, you can use the same outline and presentation to help you. And then you're going to, as your final task for this unit, make an opinion essay in which you argue that your province or territory is a good place to visit. So if you do a really good job of your outline for assignment number 10, you can use that same outline for 11 and 12, which will make your work that much easier. So please do a really good job on your outline. All right, that's it for now. Thank you for listening.